Hey guys, there's a boatload of new fragrances out there on the horizon that are going to launch soon. And in this video, I'm going to let you know what they are. But the usual suspect, some designers that haven't launched new fragrances for a while, some brands that are constantly cranking them out. But I've got the scoop on a bunch of them. And some of these are already out. Some of them I've already mentioned as well. But they all sound exciting to me. I want to get my nose on them. And let me know what fragrances you're most excited about as well, something new on the horizon. But the first one I'm going to talk to you about is from the house of Prada. So Prada launched a feminine collection of fragrances called Paradox several years ago. So they're launching a counterpart to the male fragrance of the counterpart of that called Paradigme. So there's not much info out there on this fragrance. I don't know the notes breakdown or anything, but I'm up for a new fragrance from Prada for men. Although I should be a bit hesitant. Prada used to be under Puig. And I like their fragrances when they launched the fragrances under Puig. This is the first time they're launching a fragrance under L'Oreal. For men, remember, Paradox was already launched. And I'm not too familiar with that one. So let's see how Paradigm is going to be. When Valentino was also under Puig, they went over to L'Oreal. I haven't really clicked with the fragrances for Valentino. So I'm a little hesitant about this one, but I'm digging the green colored bottle and I'm curious to see what the fragrance is all about. If you've gotten your nose on any of these fragrances I'm going to talk to you about today, let us know, add a comment below. Let's move on to the next fragrance. It's from the house of Dior. It's Bois d'Argent, the ESPRIT Parfum version. I mentioned in a video a couple days ago. If you haven't caught that video, it was a simple channel updates video that I did. And while I was in France, I went to the Dior Privé Fragrances boutique on the Rue Saint-Honoré, and the associate there said this was launching on August 18th, somewhere around there, along with Rose Star, which is already launched in the Middle East. Bois d'Argent has been a favorite fragrance of mine. It's not like one of my all-time loves from this house, but I really enjoy it for its ethereal qualities. So now they're taking it over to the Esprit Parfum collection, the stronger concentration, redone by Francis Kurkdjian. I believe the OG version of Bois d'Argent was done by Annick Menardo, but this Esprit de Parfum version is featuring notes of Italian Tuscan Iris Absolute, vanilla, ambergris, ambroxan, frankincense, and honey. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they did to this to intensify it. This will be the 6th Esprit de Parfum fragrance from the House of Dior Privé collection fragrances, and this one has got me excited, so I'm curious to see what they'll do with it. My two favorites are Gris Dior, but of course Rouge Trafalgar in the Esprit de Parfum is so awesome. I absolutely love wearing it. So it seems like Maison Margiela is also cranking out fragrances. This is Celestial Whispers, a new one created by Daniela Andrier. I believe this goes into the black bottle collection, the Eau de Parfum fragrances, not the Eau de Toilette collection in the clear bottles. And this is also an aldehydic focused fragrance. Seems like aldehydes are pretty popular, getting popular again. So aldehydes, frankincense, iris, myrrh, bourbon, vanilla, musk, Virginia cedar. Let me know if you're a fan of this collection. I just did my video on the latest orange themed fragrance from Maison Margiela, and then this is a new one in the dark bottle collection. So the next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is from the house of BOADICEA the Victorious. It's called Noble. But I was looking it up and I noticed that there were two additional versions of Noble already. There was one in 2009, and there was also one in 2018. This is a USA exclusive, it says. It's featuring notes of amber, Egyptian jasmine, fruity notes, magnolia, May rose, moss, orris root, patchouli, peony, spices, and vanilla. Let me know if you're a fan of this house. What are your favorite fragrances from BDV or BOADICEA the Victorious? I should say, I love Harmonious. I also love Energizer, and I have a video top 5 on the channel. You can go catch that video of the fragrances of BOADICEA the Victorious. But I'm definitely curious to get my nose on this one. It seems very ambery and floral. And keeping it in the amber family, Jo Malone has a new fragrance called Amber Labdanum, and it features notes of amber, bitter orange, labdanum, oak leaves, and vanilla. Now, I'm a fan of labdanum. Labdanum is what goes into creating the amber accord, and this is featuring amber and labdanum. So amber is an accord, obviously. It's not ambergris because they're not claiming it's ambergris, and it takes, resins and vanilla and balsamic notes to create an ambery experience experience in fragrances. And I haven't seen a fragrance like this from Jo Malone, so I'm quite curious to see how they're using the Labdanum with all the other notes, of course, the amber as well. But the next fragrance from the house of Room 1015 is called Love-O-Matic. Big fan of Room 1015. This is another fragrance created by Jerome de Marino. And this one, I got a preview of it. When did I get a preview? I might have gotten the preview of this one at Exxon's earlier this year. It could even be late last year when I was at Scent Explore. But this is the third fragrance from Jerome de Marino for Room 1015. Wave Child, Jasmine Freak, and then it's Love-O-Matic. So it's a soapy fragrance with some fruity notes. Musk, strawberry, ambrette, cedar, chewing gum, fresh notes, black currant, and lemons. This is definitely out already. What are your thoughts if you've gotten your nose on it? I have sampled it. I really enjoy it. It's fresh and clean and slightly fruity. But the next fragrance is from the house of Guerlain. This is also has been launched. It's already selling here at Neiman Marcus. This is a fragrance called Vetiver Fauve, created by Delphine Jelk. It's vetiver, figs, pineapple, green notes, cypriol, and tonka beans. I posted about it on Instagram several weeks ago, and people were complaining that it's too fruity. I didn't really wear it. I tested it out on a strip, and I enjoyed what I smelled. It reminded me of an OG Guerlain vetiver fragrance in the original. But when I first bought my very first bottle of Guerlain vetiver, it was in a square bottle, and it has frosted stripes on it. So that's the very first vetiver I wore, not in the OG bottle that it is, although it's been changed so many times. Obviously, Guerlain keeps redoing their bottles. But that's the first time I wore it, and it kind of reminded or hinted at that bottle of the vetiver. So we'll see once I get a bottle, if I do, and wear it, and see how fruity it gets. We're moving on to the next house called Reinvented. They have a new fragrance called Lucid Dream, a fragrance created by Christian Calabro, featuring oud, patchouli, sandalwood, rose, saffron blossoms, white blossoms, plums, raspberry, and saffron. So fruity oud fragrance experience, including earthy notes and spices and things like that. Sounds quite nice. Let me know if you're a fan of Reinvented, and also if you've gotten your nose on Lucid Dream. Add a comment below so we can find out. So moving on to the house of Memo Paris, we've got a fragrance called Red Island. This is created by long-standing perfumer for Memo Paris, Eleanor Massenet. I remember when I used to review a lot of their fragrances, she did a lot of them, and later I started seeing other perfumers, but now I see her back. And I like what she does with Memo Paris. This is featuring notes of bourbon vanilla, Sulawesi, patchouli, tonka, carrots, coffee CO2, sandalwood, bergamot, longoza, and cinnamon. Who's a fan of this house? They were pretty hyped before, but it seems like the hype has kind of slipped. I hope everything is okay with this house. Let me know. Add a comment below if you're a fan. What are your favorite fragrances from Memo Paris? Let's move on to Gritti. It's Violet Venom, which I really love the name of this fragrance. It's a great name. Hopefully the fragrance is as good as the name. A fragrance created by Luca Gritti. It's amber, cashmeran, musk, vanilla, sandalwood, osmanthus, orange blossom, neroli, bergamot, and white tea. Who's a fan of Gritti? Have you gotten your nose on a lot of their fragrances? Let me know if you have a favorite. Add a comment below. But the next fragrance is from the house of Ojar. This is Ever Lit, featuring the notes of akigala wood, benzoin, frankincense, marine notes, sandalwood, cistus, apples, cypress, pink pepper. The fragrance sounds like it's not going to smell great, especially the fact that it's mixing frankincense with marine notes, which I'm not a fan of, plus apples thrown in there as well. And we'll see. So it sounds like an amber resin thing with the usage of akigala wood, which Ojar uses a lot of perfumers from Givaudan, and a lot of the fragrances are created by Jordi Fernandez. So let's see what this one's all about. I like the sound of it. I'm a little cautious with the fact that it has marine notes, but I'm curious to get my nose on it. It's not really distributed here in the States yet. I don't know why, but it's readily available the rest of the world. Next, we've got 3 fragrances from the House of Tower Perfumes. The first one is called Shadid, and I believe it was a limited edition with a number of bottles, and it's sold out. I wish I was able to buy it. I was traveling, so I wasn't able to take advantage of that. But it's ambergris, cedar, sandalwood, nagarmotha, rosewood, musk, castoreum, and coriander. What are your thoughts on Tower Perfumes? If you've gotten your nose on Shadid, What did you think about it? Add a comment below. If you didn't and you weren't able to buy a bottle, were you curious to figure this one out, check it out, and wear it? Let me know. Add a comment below. And then we've got two fragrances which seem like they're redos of older fragrances. Like 10 years ago, Tower Perfumes launched the Towerville collection, and there was probably around 5 or 6 different releases in the collection. The most important ones, or the most popular ones, were the Rose Flash and the Vanilla Flash, and I believe the fragrances have been now moved into the regular collection, and it's Rose Absolute and Vanilla Absolute. So I was a fan of both of those fragrances. I was also a fan of Patchouli Flash, and then there was also Fruit Chouli Flash, and there was maybe 1 or 2 more, which I'm drawing a blank with the names. But Rose Absolute is amber, softwoods, resins, benzoin, ambergris, Rose Absolute, floral warmth, fruity accents, citrus sparkle, and soft spices. And then the Vanilla Absolute is labdanum, patchouli, balsamic resins, coumarin, ambergris, dark vanilla, rose, rich dried tobacco leaves, spices, rosy geranium, and dried fruits. I enjoyed both of these fragrances. These do sound a little different, so I need to get my nose on them. I really enjoy Tower Perfumes, but I haven't been keeping up with their releases, so I gotta check these two out. And I'm bummed that I missed Shadid, but again, if you've sampled them, let me know what your thoughts are. Add a comment below. And if you were a fan of Towerville's fragrances, Rose Flash and Vanilla Flash, have you compared these two? Are they the same fragrances? Let me know. Add a comment below. But moving on to the House of Electimus London, we've got a new fragrance created by David Chiese or Chiese. It's a Lutzi perfumer, and the fragrance is called Astrum Nova, and it features notes of mangoes, ambrette seeds, bergamot, lemons, mandarin, black currant, orris, osmanthus, oud, musk, amber tonic, oak moss, tonka, vanilla, and ambroxan. This perfumer I've met several times, and he's also created a fragrance for Thomas de Monaco that's launching very soon. In fact, I have a video with Thomas shot at Paris Perfume Week discussing that fragrance he created along with 2 others. I really enjoyed that fragrance for Thomas de Monaco, and I'm curious to get my nose on this fragrance and see what it's all about as well. But let me know if you've gotten your nose on Electimus's Astrum Nova. Add a comment below. And then we've got a fragrance by the House of Maison Margiela called Ylang Spirit. It's created by Alberto Morillas because he creates all of the fragrances. It's his own brand, and I think it's run by his daughter. There's a lot of fragrances from this house that I really enjoy. My favorite is For Your Love, but I also enjoy their ginger. There's a gin one, I think it's called Blue Gin. I can't remember, it's been a while. But there's a lot of great fragrances here. And recently I was in Paris and I went to the Printemps department store, and they have a little booth there with this brand. And I checked out some of their newer fragrances and really enjoyed, like one of them was Legend Leather. It smelled really great. So I gotta circle back to the fragrances of this house and check them out. But Ylang Spirit features notes of musk, ylang ylang, vanilla, benzoin, hedione, muscanone, jasmine, ambrox, paradisone, frankincense, mandarin, and bergamot. So are you a fan of ylang ylang fragrances? That does have a tropical kind of solar experience with the ylang ylang focused fragrances, and I enjoy them. It's a note that I've gotten more into as my taste progresses in this hobby of perfumes. But at one point, I wasn't really someone that said, oh my God, I really enjoy ylang ylang in fragrances, but now I do. The next fragrance is from the house of BDK. It's called Nectar Oud, and I believe this is a Harrods exclusive created by Anne Flippo. It's oud, atlas cedar, benzoin, frankincense, cypriol, raspberry, saffron. I hope it's a little different than the fragrance she created for Van Cleef & Arpels. I think it's called Oud Blanc. That one's not as exciting, so I'm hoping this one's a little more exciting. Nectar Oud by BDK. Have you gotten your nose on this one? Those of you that live in London, easier access, although Harrods does ship to the States. You can always order it and pay that extra shipping fee. But moving on to the house of Comme des Garçons, it's Monocle Scent 5 Cyros. I've got 2 of the fragrances from this house. I think maybe 2. I can't remember now. But this one's featuring Immortelle, Patchouli, Rosemary, Thyme, Turmeric, and Vetiver. Let me know if you're a fan of Comme des Garçons and this particular fragrance. What are your thoughts? Add a comment below. And then the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is from the house of Carolina Herrera. It's called Cedar Chic. This is from the higher end collection of fragrances from Carolina Herrera. It's created by Antoine Maisondieu. It's cedarwood, white musk, aldehydes, fresh notes, cotton fabric, bergamot. There goes the aldehydes again. Aldehydes are a big thing all of a sudden. In fact, I should let you guys know, Odor 10 from the house of Comme des Garçons is a great release I just picked up. It's a aldehydic fragrance, and it's very fizzy and effervescent. So yeah, I think aldehydes are here. I think it was started by Dior doing that New Look fragrance. It was New Look 19, whatever it was before, and then they changed it to New Look. And since then, I've been seeing a lot of aldehydic fragrances. Also, the Acne Studios is another one from the house of Frederic Malle. And I'm curious to see what they've done with Cedar and aldehydes together in a kind of a musky direction. Anyway, those are the fragrances I'm talking about today. I do have some bonus options. Stick around till after the outro. But which fragrances sound the most exciting to you? Which one are you most anticipating? And if there's something that I did not mention today, do add a comment and let us know what it is. I'd like to check it out if I haven't seen it or heard about it yet. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button and also click the bell icon. And definitely please give me a thumbs up for this video to help with the algorithm. Otherwise, stick around for more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. All right, so it looks like Serge Lutens is launching a new collection of fragrances in the most gorgeous bottles called Royaume de Lumière collection. So I guess it means Kingdom of Lights. I don't know if that's the correct translation. But, you know, on my trip to France recently, I bought a new Serge Lutens fragrance that I completely fell in love with. So fell in love with. I'm going to talk about it in a video very soon. I won't say what it is right now. But I'm really curious to see this collection. I didn't find the collection on my travels, though. I didn't go to the official Serge Lutens boutique, but at a store, I saw some of their fragrances, and that's where I discovered an older fragrance that I really enjoyed. Again, I'll talk about that, but this collection has 5 fragrances, and it looks like 2 of the fragrances are in this collection from previously being launched. One of them is called Tarab, originally launched in 2020. It's Cambodian oud, Turkish rose, cypriol, pine needles, cedar, patchouli, candied fruits. So it seems like there's some really great ideas for fragrances here, especially this next one. And I wasn't aware of this one. This was also previously launched in 2015. It's called Sidi Bel Abbes, C-I-D-S-I-D-I. I thought that Serge Lutens only had 3 tobacco fragrances. This is now the 4th tobacco fragrance. It's tobacco, beeswax, leather, and vanilla. This one sounds really awesome. I can't wait to get this my nose on this one. The next one, probably going to butcher the name, Crachus de Flamme, I think that's how you say it. Rose and woody notes. This is an original fragrance launching in 2025. The previous 2, the Sidi Bel Abbes was 2015. And the Tarab was 2020. The next one is Zurafa. It's leather and spices. And then the last fragrance, Bois Roy d'Agueloche. I think that's how you say it. It's precious woods and oud. I believe all the fragrances are created by Christopher Sheldrake. And if you don't know who that is, he's created a lot or most of the fragrances for Serge Lutens. And if you didn't catch my video with Christopher Sheldrake for the new brand Spaterno, definitely tune in to catch my video with him, and also the woman behind the brand who she's collaborated with Christopher Sheldrake to create the 5 fragrances for that house. But exciting collection from Serge Lutens, and the one I'm most excited about is Sidi Bel Abbes. It's a tobacco fragrance, really love it. It's also sweetened up with the beeswax and vanilla, and there's also leather in there. So definitely gonna get my nose on these as soon as I can. But if you have gotten your nose on them, let us know how they smell. Add a comment below. And thanks so much for tuning in. As I said, stick around for another video very soon. See you later. Bye-bye.